What the hell happened to Sonic.exe? But more importantly, why the hell is Sonic.exe? Is Sonic.exe this legendary horror story, or has the history of it been blown widely out of proportion, to the point where it has been completely overhyped and its impact has been told without truth? Like an over-exaggerated ghost story around a campfire where someone tells the story of a masked beast breaking into a log cabin overnight and murdering everyone. But the true story was actually the local caretaker popped around to let everyone know the electricity would be off for 20 minutes. Is Sonic.exe really that scary? Does it rightfully deserve a place in Sonic fan history of being this horror masterpiece and inspiration? Or are we really living a lie? Let's dissect this bizarre, dark side of Sonic the Hedgehog to see its true form. If you've experienced this, or are a fan of it, not a fan of it, either way I want to thank you for being here today, and all hits that like button are greatly appreciated. Now if you do love Sonic.exe, I'm not going to stop you liking it or tell you that you shouldn't like it, that's up to you, but if you are no longer 6 years old, if you're a grown-ass Sonic fan, and you think Sonic.exe is an untouchable experience, the ultimate Sonic scarefest, if this is something that ruined your sleep all those years ago, where you now have PT Sonic D from it, then that says a lot more about you than Sonic.exe itself, because it's really not that great. If you're a hardcore fan that gets offended that someone can criticize your haunted childhood experience, then it's time for some therapy. I'm here to help you, to make you realize that there's no need to be scared anymore, and any artwork you've drawn of it, any stories you've written, you can now frame them, as it will always be a reminder of how you were just expressing your fears deep within. Sonic.exe is actually really bad in execution, that it feels like it tries too hard to scare you. Am I God? Hide and seek? What is this? Freddy Krueger crossed with Rugrats? I'm not going to dive balls deep into the origin story of Sonic.exe, you've heard it a million times, but yes, Sonic.exe made an impact at the time of 2011. The fan horror story by JC-The-Hyena submitted on Creepypasta rose to popularity quickly. The murderous incarnation of Sonic with glowing red eyes, and by 2012 the Sonic.exe game launched by Mist Crimson. But why did it become so popular? Was it because it was actually scary, or did the inspiration come from what was potentially there in the original, or were the results just empty parodies and all talk? In a nutshell, the experience had pretty cool ideas, but the way they were executed were a disgrace. The concepts behind this could have been explored greatly and developed into something with far more value, meaning, and ways of creeping fans out properly. Of course, this was the first of its kind, also using the classic static TV effect, and it scares the hell out of 4-year-olds, but despite any pros that came from this, does it really deserve a statue made of it? Does it really deserve to be remembered as this glorious moment in Sonic history that sends chills down your spine? It deserves some recognition, but I'm talking about on minimal levels here. Nowhere near the undeserved recognition it got, and to be honest, the fan art of Sonic.exe amazing. The fan art is the best to come from this idea. In fact, fan art captures and creates a more intriguing mystery and background behind the character than the original does. Whereas in the original, literally, yeah, this is the part where I scare you. The way it was executed was almost preparing you to be scared, like, get ready, oh, there you go, moment is over. Someone literally told me years ago, if you play this Sonic game, you'll die, and I think the expectation versus result was extremely disappointing. Not that I wanted to die, just the Ghost Train hype truly was overrated. I actually finished it and just said, okay, then went out, had pizza, and had one of the best night's sleeps I've had in a long time. In fact, Sonic.exe was better than any sleeping tablet I ever took. I think the reason why Sonic.exe stays in people's memories is because it was totally different to anything Sonic we've experienced up until that point. But now look at it through rose-tinted glasses of a great time back then, seeing this potentially awesome world of a crazy villain Sonic, but really, our imaginations enhanced the actual experience. The original was bad writing and full of cliches, but a story of a kind-hearted Sonic being possessed by a demon or just being plain evil, murdering everyone in Green Hill Zone, it's so hard for edgy Sonic fans to resist loving it, right? I mean, the potential that has is amazing, but everything about it was forced, taken away from the seriousness, turning it into a joke that you find inside a penguin chocolate bar. You can come on here and say, oh, you're just a hater. No, that's not what I'm doing. I'm telling you the truth about it. This legend that you've created in your mind, it's a lie. It's not that great. At best, you could even say it's okay. But I guarantee there's someone out there who will defend it even more than their own mother. The fan-made dark side of Sonic has apparently crossed the line in the horror department, influencing many future horror creations, but does it really cross the line? If you want an in-depth psychotic Sonic the Hedgehog with a backstory and storytelling that actually plays on your mind, and one you care about, then go and read Fleetway Sonic the comic and check out the real Super Sonic. What could have been a mysterious, well thought out fan creation in the community ended up being a forced cringe-worthy overhyped memory that wasn't any good to begin with. How the hell it has remained in the community as this godlike Sonic experience is beyond me. It's almost like someone saw this many years ago, told another person, then they were over dramatic about it, spread the news online that Sonic.exe is incredibly scary, it will haunt you for the rest of your life, then a bunch of kids crap their pants because they put Sonic.exe on at 3 in the morning, and from there it was cemented into Sonic history as this piece of bloody art, where really all it would take is one sane person to actually realize Sonic.exe is a pile of shit, and deserves no more praise than an average Newgrounds game that gets lost in the shuffle. Am I being too harsh? Yes. But is it the truth? Yes! And the truth hurts. Sonic.exe is rubbish. But what's insane about this is that it had so much potential to be something more. Except what has become very popular regarding Sonic.exe is the actual story of its creation to begin with. Like, every hedgehog and his fox has jumped on that bandwagon to explain the origins. Most of the positive reviews of Sonic.exe are just completely fake. The Let's Play, the reaction channels and expressions on their faces are completely put on just to oversell what it is. Or even worse, trying to build false hype around this failed scarefest. Guys, I'm telling you the truth. Sonic.exe is not scary. It's not good writing in its execution. It feels incredibly lazy and was made by someone who at the time their brain was programmed as a 7-year-old who thought this would be a really mondo cool idea to try and scare my friends. Let's look at it like this. What makes it scary to begin with? I'm asking you right now, what makes it scary? Sonic has spooky red eyes. Ooh, yeah, that's it. Oh, yeah. Oh, blood. Yes, blood, because we haven't seen that 1,000 times in anime and even wrestling. Oh, wait, Sonic is pure evil. Pure evil to shock you. Yes, that's about as far as it goes in explaining why. Great origin story there, by the way. No message. All Sonic.exe does is shock value. Kills animals, traps souls, and kills Sonic's friends. It's like, how can I make this experience scary? Oh, I know. Let's kill Sonic's friends. Tick. Let's murder the animals in Green Hill Zone. Tick. It's like modern YouTube, where how can I be the biggest idiot to get the biggest view count? But the eerie music, oh yes, so scary. Actually, I mean, the music is the best thing about it though. This is one thing that does send chills down my spine, but in terms of evil Sonic with red eyes, is that all it took for you to be scared? Your horror tolerance levels must be really bloody low. If you're a grown-ass person now rating Sonic.exe as something great, and it thrilled you all those years ago, you really need to reassess the situation and watch some new material. One of the biggest problems with Sonic.exe is not itself, but what followed. Some of the .exe games that followed are just piss poor attempts to recreate the pitiful attempts of Shock Factor from the first. Yes, there were people who were truly inspired from this disgrace. Like, none of those projects are even scary, but I may just load up my webcam and pretend to be scared whilst playing it on my next video. I should get about 10 million views then. Even the Creepypasta Wiki admins deleted the story of Sonic.exe from their website years ago because it was badly written. I played the game as a kid, but I did not jump once or was scared at all by Sonic.exe. In fact, if you want something scary in the Sonic franchise, check out the original design for Movie Sonic, or go and watch Sonic Boom. Every time I see a picture from that show, I get scared thinking, how can someone possibly be alive with the idea to make Knuckles look like that? Scary shit, man. This is how you make a creepypasta. Get a popular character, put blood on it, and play the music backwards. That's it. But are you inspired by the twisted Sonic.exe? Did it inspire you to draw, create exciting stories with tons of thrills? Did it inspire you to create anything? If it did, I'm happy for you, because that proves there is value in Sonic.exe, if that's what it did for you. But always remember, whatever you created by being inspired will always be better than Sonic.exe. Has it really won the hearts of millions? Or are they just hardcore fans that are too proud to let go of their haunted childhood experience? Sonic.exe has some pretty interesting concepts and ideas, but ultimately, like I said, execution terrible. And maybe some of you are trying to keep the demon spirit of Sonic.exe's concepts alive rather than the actual result of it. Let me know in the comments what you think of Sonic.exe. Bring more truth to the table about this. What the hell happened to it? It's still around today for you to experience. How it survived the test of time to still be talked about is unbelievable. Maybe the concept really is possessed by an immortal demon.